Well, good Thursday morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Inspiration for Today. What a week we're having. We're talking about heaven and what it's going to be like to live there. From where it is here on earth to daily life. Well, actually, daily life is what we're going to talk about today. We talked about generalizations just to reaffirm you that you will be you in the new heaven. Oh, we've had a good week. Today, I've just got a lot of not that little, but questions about what it would be like to live on the renewed new heavens, new earth. Now, let me remind you that the generalization is, and if you want to think about what your life will be like without remembering these verses, although I got to give you one right now, think of Adam and Eve before the fall, because there won't be sin in this new heaven and new earth. But also, well, what will your body be like? In Philippians chapter 3 at verse 21, Jesus, by the power that enables him to bring everything under his control, will transform our lowly bodies so that they will be like his glorious body. So the things that you see, the characteristics that you see in Jesus after the resurrection, you can be assured because of that verse and others that that's what you will be like. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's just talk about the very basic things. People ask, well, will I still be eating and drinking in heaven? Will I need to? Will my body require food and water? And the answer, did Jesus? Yes, he did. John chapter 21, verses 4 through 14. 21, 4 through 14. You can read it. The resurrected Jesus meets his apostles down at the seashore. And what's he do? He cooks them breakfast of fish that they caught. And he ate with them. So we know that eating and drinking, and in fact, let me remind you of these things. New heavens, new earth, Revelation 22. The tree of life is there bearing fruit, good to eat. What good is fruit good to eat if no one's eating? No, we'll still eat. Revelation 19:9. You might remember this. The wedding feast of the Lamb. A great supper with him, with his bride, the bride of Christ. And that's you and me. What kind of a banquet is it if there weren't eating and drinking? So let's be assured we will still be eating and drinking. Now, what about meat? Will there be meat? And that's really an interesting question, isn't it? Because most of us really enjoy eating steak or a good meat. But as we read yesterday in Isaiah 65 at verse 25, it describes a whole different scenario with animals. And the lion will lay down with the lamb, and the lion will eat straw. Isn't that something? His taste buds will be totally changed. And not to mention, what's one of the description, Revelation 21, there'll be no more death. And it doesn't just say the death of human beings in heaven. It implies there'll be no more death of the animals. And if there's no more death, then there's no more food chain. And if there's no more food chain and where animals basically eat each other, then I think it's a very good guess that we won't eat the animals either. Now, there is a passage in Isaiah where it talks about the finest meats and wines. But maybe, I know right today, there are things called meat substitutes, and they don't taste like, well, my experience is they don't taste like meat. But do you think God has the ability, if we still have a taste for meat, and I'm not sure we will because our taste buds could be changed just like the lions, but if we do, I think God is capable of making a meat substitute that's perfect. And remember, we'll be eating with taste buds that are not tainted by sin and by the fall. We will be living holy lives without sin, things may well taste different to us. Now, some have asked, what about my coffee? Well, maybe if you still like it, and you will like some drink, when we have taste buds that are not tainted with sin, it's gonna be like a burst of beautiful tastes. And in fact, in Isaiah 25:6, it talks about perfect aged wine. So there'll be wine in heaven. And coffee. God made the coffee beans, did he not? Well, then I don't see any reason there would not be coffee, and there will certainly be juices and teas and of perfect taste. You ready for perfect taste? It's unbelievable. What about clothes? You see, we're just dealing with a lot of quick questions today. Clothes. Well, Revelation chapter 3, verse 4. You can jot that down if you're taking notes. And Revelation 6, verse 11. The second one, it talks about them wearing robes. Really, the heaven right now. It's during the tribulation. So even now, of course, we will have bodies. And the interesting thing about wearing robes, that was the common dress of the time. And so many have hypothesized that what he's really saying, yes, they were wearing robes because that's what they wore. Had they have been from Fiji and wore, shirts and swimming trunks and leis, whatever, then that's probably what they'd have been in. We don't really know. But wouldn't it be great if everyone from around, all believers from around the world, wore their own native clothes? That would be just like God. He loves variety. And so we would so appreciate the ethnicity of the various types of clothing, but we will be wearing clothes, evidently. And the only reason that comes up is because before the fall, Adam and Eve did not. But it appears these will. Now, pets. We have pets in heaven. Well, the animals will be much more intelligent, not tainted by sin, not dangerous to us. I think it's not surprising to think that we could. Pets have been, God has used pets to minister to people forever. And I know that I have had just some amazing pets that I remember to this day from my youth. A couple of dogs I would absolutely love to see again. Now, our pets do not have souls. So when they died, they died. However, could a loving, gracious God who gives all good gifts, could he bring them back to life? Could he recreate other animals that are just like them and we'd love them instantly? Of course he could. We don't know what he will do, but we know that's very much a possibility because our God is such a blessing to us, and we will have similar pets. Now, how about work? Will we work? Yes. Ephesians 2:10 says that God created us anew to do good works that he prepared in advance for us to do, and that doesn't end in heaven. Adam and Eve did work before the fall. They were gardeners. So work in itself is not sinful. In fact, have you ever had a job where you absolutely loved going to work? I sure hope you have. I do right now, for the most part. And so work is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's what stretches us, helps us grow. Lots of questions. Hey, we'll keep answering them tomorrow. I hope you find that interesting. I surely do. God bless. See you tomorrow.
And I won't worry about tomorrow. I'm trusting